This tutorial illustrates the concept of a text annotation. This button here on the toolbar is what one uses to implement a text annotation. Annotations are things that are completely separate from the molecular modeling for molecules and so on that you can use to describe or illustrate what molecular modeling operations you're performing or for making presentations. So when we take the text annotation, we get this cursor, and depending on where we click in the workspace, if we click right here, it'll bring up a dialog box for choosing the annotation. We take the text and type it in here that we want to have. We have the ability to describe the color of that text, its font, and so on and so forth. Let's stick to Garamond, and we've got 24 point size here. That seems okay. So we'll go ahead, and there's a label or a piece of text on the workspace. It's in a separate layer altogether. If we can see that, if we go up the options and tell it to hide the annotation layer, it will go away, and molecule is still there, and so on and so forth. We can tell it to put that annotation layer back, and there it is at the same place. Now, this annotation layer and the molecule layer are completely separate. One can be in front of the other, one can be behind, depending on the desirability of putting annotations in front or behind. And now an annotation, the way you can select a molecule or an atom, you can also select an annotation. The selected annotation has a box around it, and the annotation, like an atom or molecule, can be manipulated. In particular, it can be translated to put it wherever you want on the workspace. It cannot be rotated, obviously, but it cannot be zoomed. What you do is you change the point size if you want it bigger or smaller. But anyway, that's an annotation, and if you have nothing selected and are rotating, it will rotate in the molecule and the molecule layer, or translate the molecule. If you have something selected in the molecule and in the text and try to translate, it'll translate only the molecule. But if you have the annotation selected only, then you can move it around in the workspace and put it wherever you want. So that's a simple text annotation, and it can be saved in the HIN file along with the molecule and recovered at a later time, and so on. It stays with the HIN file if you want it to.